everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first sit down on my YouTube channel called Life While Selling. Now, today I'm going to be doing my very first sit down. I'm going to emphasize this again, where I talk about my journey in sales, how I started, how it is going at the moment, what my learnings are, what my struggles are, and what the future holds. Yeah, so so basically, I'm in sales. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention what company I'm in, but I'm basically in sales. I'm currently doing the actual selling, like I'm a sales representative, and at the same time I handle the key accounts management for this company. And so far it's been very interesting. I'm sure you guys have seen my past videos. My journey has been very interesting, and firstly I want to maybe start talking about how I started and how I landed in here. So basically what happened is that I found myself in sales. So an opportunity came right before I went on my maternity leave with my first son. With my son, I don't have many sons. With my son. And then after that, I was then given a choice between coming back to my current role, which was going to be a little bit more evolved than what it was prior, or to branch into actually doing the sales for this company, right? And obviously me, I said yes to the new opportunity. And after 3 months of being away on maternity leave, here I was in 2023 in August. I came back to my new sales role. Now, okay, so if you as a viewer are curious about the sales industry, how to get in, or maybe you want to branch into a new career, or you think this is something that might interest you, maybe you might want to stick around and actually find out how I did it, or how to do it. Yeah, maybe I can give you some nuggets of advice here and there. Okay, so now as a new mom, I came back to my new role, and the very first impression that I had was, oh well, this is gonna be nice, it's gonna be cutesy, it's gonna be, what's that word they use on social media? Yeah, that one. And then I was having fun, to be quite honest with you. The first 4 months were a blast, and also something very significant shifted in the company during that time, and so it made it seem like there was a lot of success. And also naturally, because of the nature of the industry, you would know if you are in the entertainment industry, in the events industry, in the transport industry, and any other industries that are quite like dependent on the times of the year or the seasons, you would know that the spring going into the autumn of the following year are basically the most busiest times. So yeah, we had a blast. It was quite nice. We're rolling out a certain project, and I really did have a lot of fun during that time. And also I feel like during those first few months, another thing that made it feel like I was making some sort of progress was maybe the fact that, we would shoot blank shots basically, right? So because we are doing this for the very first time, the company has never had a sales department before. We don't know what we are measuring ourselves against. We don't know how other people are doing it, or maybe we might have an idea, but we're basically just trying this new thing for the very first time. We would then go out, just drive around, pick an area, go to maybe like an industrial zone somewhere, and just distribute as many business cards as we possibly can. And that's not the way to do it, because thereafter, literally, after you leave, you find that someone just takes your business cards and they throw them into the bin. So we didn't have a targeted approach. Well, specifically, I didn't have a targeted approach, but together with the organization, we didn't know what we were doing when we first began. So yes, there were a lot of shots and a lot of misses, but there were a lot of gains during those first 4 months. Now, fast forward to a year later, now we have grown the department a little bit more. I've now had a mentor. I have more tools, I can put it that way. We have a CRM in place. We've got a few more tools and a little bit more structure around that department. Now it sort of feels like, okay, when I'm making a cold call and I can't get across to somebody, I'm worried about how they're going to perceive me. I'm worried about whether I sound okay. Is my tone the correct one? Am I too happy? Am I too sad? Am I disturbing this person? Like, am I coming across to them as a professional? Are they going to take me seriously? Am I not sounding Mickey Mouse? You have so many thoughts, and personally that has been one of my biggest struggles, that I'm really worried about how I'm coming across professionally, especially when I am calling someone. I don't really have a problem with meeting people. When I speak to people, like, we meet one another. I'm not really worried about the impression that they have of me, but I'm more concerned rather about the impression that they have of me, like without seeing me. I don't know if this makes sense. So that has personally been one of my struggles. Another one of my struggles has certainly been, like, how do you prospect, or how do you find the right clients who are going to meet you where you need to be, or rather the people that you will meet with where they need to be, if that makes sense. So how do you know who is your target customer, who is the person that you are meant to actually be helping out? Because remember, in sales, it's not about selling, it's about helping. Okay, so just coming back to what I'm learning, I'm obviously learning more and more that my mindset matters more than anything, and that, like I said before, that is something that I have been dealing with, and I'm actively, like, I'm reading books, I'm actively watching content, and I'm trying to improve in terms of my mindset where I am, and a little bit more and more rather, I am starting to also engage with people on LinkedIn, like, just like purely engaging with people without expecting anything in return, setting coffee dates, many of which I'm not even committing to. I'm also attending a LinkedIn growth networking session on the 14th of June. I think that will be very beneficial for me. And yeah, I'm just, trying to improve my confidence, trying to improve my mindset during this journey. And yeah, that's mostly what I'm working on at the moment. And the ways in which sales has changed my life is that I've become self-aware. I think I'm just generally a very self-aware person. Obviously, you can never see all the blind spots, but I tend to think that I'm generally very self-aware. But being in sales has increased that self-awareness. I'm more self-conscious, I think, but not like in a bad way, in a good way. I'm aware of my thoughts, I'm aware of my feelings, I'm aware also of where my strengths lie, and I'm aware of my weaknesses, and I try to improve that day in, day out. And in instances where I can't get feedback, I always try to get feedback. And here is a snippet of me listening to some feedback from a customer. So yeah, these are the moments that make me feel very proud. As I was saying, it's just remembering that you need to build resilience, and the most important thing is just to learn whatever you can, absorb as much as you can wherever you go, really, in life. I do believe it's one of my biggest values that you need to learn. There's always a lesson somewhere. It may not be hidden. You don't have to scramble around for it. Just learn and absorb as much as you can. And right now, I'm in a space where I'm just learning. I'm being a fly in the wall, as people might want to refer to it. And I'm just observing how things are done in the trade, in sales. There are other things that I didn't even know existed, that I had never done before. Processes that I've never been involved in, that I'm currently learning how to navigate them. And yeah, that's the most important thing. And yeah, if you like this type of content, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, as an outro, I'd just like to thank you for watching my video until this far. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.